There's the old 2510, Saturday,
Thank you. Papa Quebec 5 Bravo, Kansas.
249.
Be my uniform 1 Fox Mike, 591-312.
That's the dim feature.
Thank you, Papa Quebec 5 Bravo. AB 5 Kilo Yankee X-ray, 591-313.
I bought one of these new, in the late 80s. Worked perfectly, went underwater in Katrina. And then this is one I bought after Katrina that receives well, but it's got screwed up transmit, and that's sometimes what happens on eBay.
Thank you, Papa Quebec 5 Bravo, Kansas.
This has got the
Papa Quebec 5 Bravo, Papa Quebec 5 Brazil.
best noise blanker on any radio I've ever had in a car for ignition noise.
November again. Papa Quebec 5 Bravo, Papa Quebec 5 Brazil, Kansas.
Compared to a ICOM 735, it barely worked. Compared to this, would just knock it in its butt for picking up another cars. CW, LSB, upper side band. There's AM, FM. Now this is a little bit goofed up. Doesn't always wanna. Doesn't all encoder is kind of screwy. You can jump here by 10 kilohertz. .3 is the start of the and this is the RIT PA squelch. RF gain. It's a typical used thing you get off eBay. Modulation, SWR. This is the SWR cal for forward, and then you hit transmit and you look what comes back. Sometimes you just get dirty contacts. Other times you got a problem issue. I'd like to buy another couple of these things to play around with, but it's like my luck on these been that you end up getting somebody else's problem. But it's probably the most fun rig I've ever had. I got one of these when they first came out. And what I did, I heard him on another radio, and that's why I came in here and to try to find back where he was. I should have written it down. I think it's 45. There's one right there. 28.380. It's a contest. Mic gain. The mic looks like. There's about 6 or 8 variants of these things at least. They were originally made in Taiwan, and then they got made in the Philippines. There's different blocks of serial numbers, and I think some of them are more modifiable by other ones. Sometimes you'll buy one of these used and if somebody's gone in there and cranked the power output so much it puts a bunch of splatter because they don't know what they're doing. They're using a power meter and then they go through and assume just what all's coming out. The B and C is all going on the one frequency. So you got to be careful that on ham or any other bands you don't buy something that's been tweaked and peaked to where it's been screwed up, in the sense that you've got no useful power going in the fundamental. It's all going into harmonics and crap. The scan here an unused radio like this, sometimes the connections just get to be flaky, in the sense that you're pushing down on here and the contacts have just got crap on it because of dust, or just like here it's real humid. He's just booming in there. This has been running through an antenna tuner, an HC100 high gain, or Tokyo high power, and there's just a wire running around the room here. You can tweak this a little bit. That's set on 10 meters. This radio is not up to snuff, in the sense if you transmit, I want to say it transmits on AM and FM, but not on low sideband. There's nothing out. So it's one that's got issues, and that's just one that, of course, I bought off eBay a few years ago, and then turns out that it's screwed up, in the sense that it's not complete. And unfortunately, a lot of these things have been messed with. So the question is, you buy a bunch more off eBay, and are they just more junk, or do you find somebody who knows how to actually work on these, or you try to work on them yourself? And I might have some brain fade here. I don't remember having to push the button down to turn this, but that's what appears. You've got to push this in, and I think maybe it toggles. See, or maybe that's just it's hosed up. There's actually a later unit, a 2600, which I think was more neutered. Some people say it was better. Then there was a sister unit made by Radio Shack, made for Radio Shack, but they're all made by Uniden. And the HR2510 meant 25 watts on PEP for sideband on 10 meters. That was the original way it was marketed years ago. I think this thing put out about double what a CB did. So an old CB era AM was 4 watts, and then on sideband it would be about 12. And this is about double it, so it'd be 25 on sideband, and I think around 8 to 10 on AM. And this is kind of frustrating. You're trying to change. That's the annoyance of old stuff. That's it.